The matter of a puppet marriage is not under review in this case. You're the judge. I mean, look at your horrible outfit. More pain. Thanks to your bumbling, my perfect plan is not so perfect anymore. Now we have to waste time getting to the bottom of some silly proposal by a puppet. Don't be surprised that I was going to propose to Regina. I even had something to give her. I kept it in my pocket waiting for the chance to propose and give it to her. Of course, I also had in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. I know that's a lie. You were going to propose you, a puppet? Don't be so obtuse. Just because I'm a puppet doesn't mean I can't love. I guess you're right. Just because I'm old doesn't mean I can't propose to her too. Exactly. This honor is looking a little less than honorable right now. Okay, Mr. Wright, please continue with your examination. Did you hear that? His sigh seemed a little wistful. By proposal, you mean proposing marriage, correct? To Regina? Of course, that's what I meant. What kind of stupid question is that? I wasn't going to propose that we become some sort of outlaw biker gang together. Right, Ben? Yeah. Got it, that's the truth. I even had something to give to her. What was it exactly you planned on giving her? You know exactly what I was going to give her, Numbskull. The only thing I could find that could match Regina's beauty. Answer his question, what was it? You're gonna die when you hear this. It's an engagement ring. An engagement ring? Wow, those two nearly fell out of their chairs. Mr. Phoenix Wright's joke has gone too far. Time for this to end right here. Franziska's whip looks like it's about to lash out at almost anything. One hit from that thing will probably shut someone up for a long time. Oof. Push on anyway. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. The first time that a puppet has ever proposed to a human— Ow! I advise you to cut this argument short. I'm going to have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about the engagement ring, I'd like to stick to the facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy sweating the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. Engagement ring. Uh-huh, it's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina is going to love it. It's only glass. It's just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's gotta be something I can catch him on. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. What a stupid question. You've got to be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off? I'm sorry, really. You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing. Really? So you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times that I lost count, but that uppity snob kept getting in the way. Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about me, Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm going to saw his wood block in half, and not with magic. Well, they always say that love creates rivalries. So what about this present? Take it out. Sir, you still think I'm trying to give it to Regina? Of course I am. I spent 3 months' salary on this thing. I'm not gonna give it up that easily. I wonder how much he receives for appearing in the circus. Probably way more than he deserves. How about it, Nick? I think it's about time to wrap this toy's testimony. Unwrap. That's the spear, Nick. Give him heck. The judge has that dazed look again. Maybe he should get out more. So, this wouldn't happen to be that ring, would it? Asking for a friend. Trilo, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Uh-oh. Looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Ah, that's mine. Give it back. The thief. Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it right here? Ah! What's going on here? That's... Ben, say something. Don't put it on me in the spot like that, Trilo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean a room like they put money, like a bank vault? That filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quest, I would prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey, in every sense of the word. Oh, I see, well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things that he can find and gather them up. Shiny things? Trilo, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night of the crime. What did you just say? Details, I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might, be able to say that. The ring might have, well, it could have been taken around that time. Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. It has nothing to do with anything, especially not not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what it has to do with that. Now, Trilo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing, not I, and Mr. Trilo Quest. What did you do when the ring was taken, Trilo? You know exactly what I did. I chased after that ring, snatching monkey money. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all this slow, loafy fool called Ben's fault. While he was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. It is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove one very important point. Prove an important point? What point could that possibly be? Ben's testimony has a flaw. He said he saw everything. There's a huge contradiction in this witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the entrance of the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after Money the monkey. When the witness was off chasing Money, there was no one watching the plaza. What's the meaning of all this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there is no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to my next point. It is entirely possible that someone other than the defendant was at the scene. Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, you obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. This witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. I've told you so many times. You'd think you'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, Stick Boy, and I'm sure it will change some more. Where there's one lie, there are usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Oh, I'm going to break this little stick. Yeah. Witnessing Max. I'll give you that I was waiting for that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. So that means the money didn't show up until after you saw Max. That's right, money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Let's see, I'd say about, I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5 minutes stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night? That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know, 4. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes has an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Yikes, that judge is even more dangerous to Arceus than Trilo. So you saw Max coming out of the Big Top that night? Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. I guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished promptly at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was that? Indeed, what time is it, was it? Oh, what time was it? Let me think about that for a second. Ow, I'm not good at math. It was 10:10 p.m. Oh, yes, that sounds about right. What time of death was 10:15? That's 5 minutes he was out there, that's it. Sounds about right, because that's the time when I saw Max on the scene. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. He testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. Why would you say good evening when you just hit over the head with a bottle last time you saw him? You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben, you got something to add? Let me guess, that's not it, Trilo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trilo. Mr. Quest, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible, a performer lives and breathes as a performance. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony. And Trilo's evening greeting. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you strange? Exactly, how is it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Ow, that hurt. Maybe you should think of having some proof before you let your lips start flapping this time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world, but I'm sure you already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot. The witness will resume his testimony. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. Broken bottle. I thought I was gonna be able to present evidence through there. Trilo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal, it was just an argument, a disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. It usually doesn't end with a broken bottle. That morning, Ben got clobbered over the head by Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? We're not here for assault. Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd would just up and say good evening to his rival. Fucking lewd puppets. Are you saying this witness is lying? That he is trying to frame the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the scene of the crime? I believe he's just saying that, yes. I didn't tell a single lie, honestly, That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? He saw a different person. It is my belief that the witness didn't see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. That's why Trilo made the effort to greet whoever it was when he saw that who he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world, you? Well, the defense kindly explained who it was Trilo saw that evening. I think he saw Russell. He saw the victim. Considering the ill temper of this witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor, it is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you've got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? You're correct, it was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trilo, isn't that correct? Oh. Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Why? Order! How do you respond to this? Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man, but once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I can't trust that at all. I think it's high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw that night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man, you've got to remember them by now. Here we go again. Everyone all together now. Ow. Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses. A silk hat and a cloak, anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witnesses endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone dressed as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What? Miss Von Karma. Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, If that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point in this one. That is very unfortunate. You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but... What? Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Fucking Mo. Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond a shadow of a doubt an answer to the question, and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for this crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. Oh, thank God. I just need to make it through. Still keep going. Still doing good, though. Sweetie, you have to believe me. I didn't go anywhere near that crime scene. So then, where were you when the murder took place? We talked about it yesterday, remember? I was in the ringmaster's room. And while you were there, it was the ringmaster who left the room, right? Exactly, he told me to wait in the room because he would be right back. That's when the ringmaster headed to the scene of the crime, right? That's what it seems like. But the ringmaster must have been wearing Max's costume, right? Oh, sweetie, I just remembered. I went straight to the ringmaster's room still dressed in my stage clothes. But when I got there, I went ahead and took the costume off. Which means? It means that the ringmaster could have taken his costume and went out looking like Max. Fabulous. That's a fabulously possibility. Well done, Nick. However, sweetie, why would the ringmaster want to dress up like me? Isn't that a bit strange? If you think about it, all they found at the crime scene was my silk hat. What about my cloak? Where did that go? Double, Wow, Max, I never thought of that. You should be a detective or something. Well, I was never quite sure what to be when I grew up, a magician or president. You have no idea how hard it was to make a decision. That's really cool. Fabulous. This mystery just keeps getting deeper. Too many fabulouses. Now that everyone is back, let's get started. The court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please proceed with the prosecution's case. Very well, I will now call my next witness. A pitiful clown with the unfortunate distinction of having seen the entire thing. Will Mr. Lawrence Curls please take the stand? Why'd she just call him a pitiful clown? The witness will state his name and occupation for the court record. And West Clown, fucking born and raised, I want to die. Name and occupation. I only needed 2 lines of that. Oh my God. Will the witness please inform the court why he is speaking autobiographical gibberish? Yeah, Will, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just not used to being in court. I've never been in a courtroom in my life. I wasn't quite sure what joke is best suited to this sort of occasion. Fuck. No. What in the world are you talking about? Just stop. You're in a grand hall of justice, not some comedy club. Since it's easy to see your occupation, please state your name for the court. Oh yeah, maybe this joke is okay. Mom, do I have to wear pants? The sign only says no shoes, no shirt, no service. Ha 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 ha. Okay, how about this? Have you met my proctologist, Dr. Seymour Butts? How was that one? But a couple clowns that were up to no good, they started making trouble. Oh, your name? Lawrence Curls, a professional funny man, also known as Mo the Clown. You witnessed the scene at around 10:15 p.m. that day of the murder. Correct? Yes, it is. Very well, Mr. Curls, will you please testify to what you saw that evening? A rabbi, a priest, and a Rastafarian walk into a bar. Without the humor, please. Okay. Oh, poor Mo. Can't be his normal stoogey self in court. Oh, thank you. I know, I'm not the greatest comedian in the world. I haven't been able to make people laugh for 10 years. No matter what I say, all I get in return is a vacant stare and polite applause. Since no one ever laughs at my jokes, I've taken to laughing at them myself. It's a bad habit, but hey, at least I'm trying. Imagine my predicament. I'm a clown who can't make people laugh. I'm almost useless. But I keep trying. I even tried to come up with jokes just for today. Objection, Your Honor. Can the witness actually testify to what he saw rather than his life issues? But this atmosphere is very nerve-wracking. I decided to try to make everyone laugh. Seriously, everyone, what do you think of me? How am I doing? Von Karma actually might kill him. Aren't we the ones supposed to be asking the questions here? Witness? Huh? We will listen to your call for help after the court proceedings are over. Thus, please stick with the facts of this case. Really? You're really hearing me out? Well, I'll make sure that one of my staff will be your straight man later. Thank you. I can't wait. Poor Gumshoe. Yeah, it is going to be Gumshoe. Now that that's settled, shall we begin once again with testimony? Of course we can. I'll talk for as long as you want. Actual testimony. The night of the murder, after practice was over, I went straight back to my room. You have no idea how tired I was that night. I was pooped. I thought I'd go straight to sleep, but before I did, I glanced out the window. That's when I saw two silhouettes. They were a bit far away, though. It was the ringmaster, and he was with Max, who was wearing his cloak. I kept watching them, and all of a sudden, Max clonked the ringmaster over the head. That's very interesting. If this eyewitness account is to be believed, I have enough to pass judgment right now. Of course you can. There's no way that this account can be criticized. However, the witness is a bit, how do you say, off-kilter. Almost like he has some sort of atmosphere of guilt surrounding him. That must be because of my insincere smile. Mr. Wright, please begin the defense's cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, you've got to find some kind of contradiction in his testimony. I know that. Mr. Wright? Your Honor? I'm afraid that if you push this witness too far, it would be a disaster upon the court. Thus, I sincerely hope you're going to engage in a pointless not going to engage in pointless saber rattling. I understand, Your Honor. Oh, I want to, If you cause this con to stray from the facts, I'll hold you responsible. Please don't whip me. Why am I responsible? I'm not the one with the corny jokes. You'd said say that practice wrapped up around 10 p.m., correct? See, that's the thing. How exactly am I supposed to make a joke about 10 p.m.? Now 8 o'clock, that's something a clown can riff off of. Let's just pretend it was 8 o'clock. That way I can make a great joke. Let's not. Let's not make it 8 p.m. All right, Mo. What do you mean, let's not? Don't take the clown out of the clowning around. Come on, Nick, just listen to his joke. There are 3 reasons why I don't want to. 1, I probably won't laugh. 2, I'll get hit with a penalty. 3, I'll get whipped. Will the witness just proceed with his factual testimony? You're so boring. I don't want to get fucking whipped. It's gonna hurt like shit.